Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Have you ever been stuck scrolling through endless movie lists, overwhelmed by choice, and unsure where to even begin? Or maybe you're looking to revisit some classics or discover hidden gems? Today, we're counting down the 15 greatest movies you must see now. This list is a carefully curated blend of iconic titles and underappreciated masterpieces, spanning across genres and decades. In no particular order. Let's dive into Number 15. The Usual Suspects. The Usual Suspects weaves a labyrinthine tale of the criminal underworld and an enigmatic mastermind. After a fiery blazing catastrophe on a docked ship leaves a trail of dead bodies, crippled conman Roger Verbal, Kint is the sole coherent survivor. Customs agent Dave Cugin, consumed by the case, delves into Kint's narrative. Through flashbacks and Kint's reluctant recollections, you hear the tale of a crew of disparate criminals brought together by chance, but forced to work together to get their lives back on track. As Kint tells the tale of loyalty, betrayal, and some mythical gangster named Kaiser Soze, a figure of immense power and cruelty, Cugin becomes fixated on unraveling the truth. Even if it means bending the law. The deeper Cugin ventures, the more the lines between reality and manipulation blur, leaving the audience questioning everything they thought they knew. Number 14. The Matrix. Before everyone was jumping around and doing things no one could possibly do in every movie. Before all of that, one of the first was The Matrix. Computer hacker extraordinaire Neo stumbles down a rabbit hole of epic proportions. What he thought was, well, The Matrix, think everyday life, turns out to be a simulated reality cooked up by intelligent machines. These machines are keeping humanity docile while they harvest our bodies for energy. Enter Morpheus and Trinity. They offer Neo a choice, a blue pill for blissful ignorance, or a red pill to wake up to the mind-blowing truth. They believe Neo is the one who can save humanity from the machines. This was really the movie credited with mind-bending reality. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Number 13. The Exorcist, the only horror movie to make this list. Even though it lacks today's expected CGI and effects, this is a cult classic and still gives nightmares to some older folks who may have seen it when it was first released. The Exorcist is about demonic possession and a mother's desperate fight for her child. Chris McNeil, a Hollywood actress, relocates to Georgetown with her preteen daughter Reagan. Reagan's innocent world curdles into a nightmare as bizarre occurrences plague her. Unexplained noises, foul-mouthed tirades, and grotesque contortions leave doctors baffled. As Reagan's condition worsens, Chris turns to Father Damien Karras, a priest wrestling with his own faith, and renowned archaeologist, Father Lancaster Marin, is summoned to assist. Together, they confront a malevolent entity, Pazuzu, a demon from ancient Mesopotamia, that has taken possessed Reagan. The ensuing exorcism is a harrowing display of religious warfare, pushing the boundaries of human endurance and sanity. The line between science and the supernatural blurs as the priests grapple with a force beyond human comprehension. Number 12. The Shawshank Redemption, an exploration of hope and resilience within the brutal confines of a prison. Andy Dufresne is a mild-mannered banker who is wrongly convicted of murdering his wife and her lover. Sentenced to life at Shawshank, Andy endures the harsh realities of prison life, facing institutionalized brutality and soul-crushing despair. Yet, Andy refuses to be broken. With quiet determination, he carves out a space for himself, using his financial acumen to gain favor with the warden and guards. He befriends Red, a seasoned inmate who narrates the story, and through their bond, a flicker of hope ignites within the prison's bleak atmosphere. Andy's unwavering belief in justice and his meticulous planning set the stage for a daring escape that take over 2 decades to pull off. This film masterfully portrays the dehumanizing effects of incarceration while celebrating the indomitable human spirit. You have got to see this movie. Number 11. LA Confidential. I love the twist and turns in this movie so much. LA Confidential looks at the murky underbelly of 1950s Los Angeles, where Hollywood glitz rubs shoulders with police corruption and simmering violence. 3 LAPD officers, each with their own moral compass and agenda, collide in the aftermath of a brutal massacre at a Night Owl diner. Ed Exley, a by-the-book rookie detective obsessed with avenging his father's unsolved murder, finds himself partnered with the volatile Bud White. White, a short-fused bruiser with a soft spot for female victims of abuse, relies on unorthodox methods to get confessions. Meanwhile, Sergeant Jack Vincennes cultivates a glamorous facade, feeding information to a ruthless tabloid journalist in exchange for his 5 minutes of fame. As each cop looks deeper into the Night Owl case, their paths intertwine, exposing a web of deceit that stretches from gangland killings to a high-class prostitution ring, the Hollywood elite and crooked cops. The deeper they dig, the more they uncover a conspiracy that threatens to topple the fragile peace within the LAPD and shatter the illusion of a glamorous golden age. This is a movie that I can watch over and over again. Number 10. Natural Born Killers. Natural Born Killers shows how the media can sensationalize crime in a way that only Oliver Stone could pull off. Mickey and Mallory are a volatile couple scarred by childhood trauma that embark on a murderous rampage across America. Their thrill-seeking savagery leaves a bloody trail, attracting the insatiable attention of the media. A sleazy tabloid reporter, Wayne Gale, with a penchant for sensationalism, elevates Mickey and Mallory to rock star status. He feeds the public a distorted narrative, glamorizing their violence and turning them into folk heroes. The film becomes a scathing indictment of our media culture's obsession with violence and its capacity to warp reality. As the lines blur between entertainment and bloodshed, the film dives into a psychedelic exploration of Mickey and Mallory's deranged minds. We see their twisted love story and the dark impulses that fuel their murderous spree. Natural Born Killers is a disturbing yet thought-provoking commentary, forcing viewers to confront the dark side of our fascination with violence and the media's role in shaping our perceptions. Number 9. Braveheart, set against the backdrop of a brutal fight for Scottish independence. Braveheart is the quasi-biopic of William Wallace, a disillusioned Scottish warrior, witnessing the cruelty of English rule firsthand when his father and brother are slaughtered. He is sent to live with his uncle in France, but fueled by rage and a deep love for his homeland, Wallace returns to Scotland a changed man. He reunites with his childhood sweetheart, Maron, and secretly marries her, defying the English overlord's barbaric right of prima nocte, the overlord sleeping with the bride. But tragedy strikes again when Maron is brutally murdered by English soldiers. This ignites a firestorm within Wallace, propelling him to become a beacon of resistance. With unwavering determination, Wallace rallies the Scottish clans, uniting them under a single banner. He spearheads a series of daring guerrilla attacks against the English forces, culminating in a glorious victory at the Battle of Stirling. His exploits become legend, striking fear into the heart of the tyrannical English King Edward I. However, the road to freedom is paved with blood and betrayal. Wallace faces not only the might of the English army, but also the political maneuvering of Scottish nobles willing to compromise their freedom for personal gain. Number 8. Malcolm X. Spike Lee's Malcolm X delves into the transformative journey of Malcolm Little, a man who carved his own path in the fight for racial justice. The film opens with a powerful scene, juxtaposing a fiery Malcolm X oration against racism with the Rodney King beating and the burning of an American flag. We are then transported back to Malcolm's troubled youth. Witnessing his father's death, likely at the hands of white supremacists, and his mother's institutionalization plants the seeds of disillusionment, Malcolm navigates a life of hustling and petty crime in Harlem, eventually landing in prison. It's here that Malcolm encounters the Nation of Islam, a religious movement that ignites a spark within him. Reborn as Malcolm X, he becomes a charismatic spokesperson for the Nation of Islam, preaching racial pride and separation as the path to liberation. His fiery rhetoric and scathing critiques of white America electrify the black community. However, Malcolm X's odyssey takes an unexpected turn during a pilgrimage to Mecca. Surrounded by Muslims of all colors worshipping together, his rigid views on race begin to soften. He embraces a broader vision of Islam, one that emphasizes unity and dismantling racial hierarchies. Back in America, Malcolm X breaks with the Nation of Islam, forming his own organization focused on Pan-African unity and self-determination. This ideological shift earns him enemies, culminating in his tragic assassination. Malcolm X is a powerful and unflinching biopic. It makes viewers grapple with questions of race, identity, and the ongoing struggle for equality. Number 7. Pulp Fiction. Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction weaves a darkly comedic tapestry of violence and redemption in the Los Angeles underworld. Hitmen Jules Winfield and Vincent Vega, with their philosophical musings and penchant for burgers, navigate a series of bizarre situations. One minute they're retrieving a mysterious briefcase for their gangster boss, Marcellus Wallace, the next they're tasked with escorting Marcellus' bored wife, Mia, on a wild night out. Their paths intersect with a washed-up boxer, Butch Coolidge, who double-crosses Marcellus in a rigged fight. The narrative jumps back and forth in time as each character's story unfolds. A pair of small-time robbers, Pumpkin and Honey Bunny, add another layer of chaos with their own diner hold-up. Through unexpected twists, moments of dark humor, and bursts of extreme violence, Pulp Fiction explores themes of loyalty, fate, and the consequences of one's actions. I still think that this is Quentin Tarantino's best work. Number 6. Pleasantville. This one may surprise you as many people may not have heard of it. Pleasantville is shot a little differently, but that is part of its unique charm. A modern film whose main characters get trapped in a black and white 1950s sitcom, where life is squeaky clean and emotions are non-existent. Enter David, a teenager obsessed with a show called Pleasantville, and his polar opposite sister Jennifer. A magical remote control transports them into the world of his favorite sitcom, transforming them into the show's characters, Bud and Mary Sue. David thrives in this idyllic, predictable world, but Jennifer finds it stifling. As Jennifer disrupts the status quo with a splash of lipstick and a yearning for individuality, color begins to seep into Pleasantville, one act of rebellion at a time. This disrupts the seemingly perfect lives of the townspeople and forces them to confront their own desires and hidden emotions. Stuck between a world of conformity and the blossoming vibrancy of individuality, Pleasantville explores the power of self-expression, the study of being different and the beauty of human complexity. This one is a must-see. Number 5. Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame. Arguably the best superhero movies of all time. I put them together because it really is a two-parter. In Infinity War, the mad titan Thanos seeks to collect the Infinity Stones, artifacts of unimaginable power. These stones hold the key to manipulating the very fabric of reality. Our ragtag team of Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Wakandan warriors unite to thwart Thanos' plan, which involves wiping out half of all life in the universe to ensure its survival. Despite valiant efforts on multiple planets, Thanos succeeds in gathering the stones and enacting his twisted vision. Our heroes are left devastated, with many succumbing to the snap that eliminates half of all living beings. Endgame picks up 5 years later, with a universe reeling from the loss. The remaining Avengers grapple with their grief and guilt. Hope flickers when a chance emerges to undo Thanos' actions and bring back those who vanished. The surviving heroes embark on a daring time heist, venturing back through time to collect the Infinity Stones before Thanos acquires them. This high-stakes mission forces them to confront past mistakes and forge new alliances. The fate of the universe hinges on this desperate gamble, culminating in an epic showdown that will determine the very fabric of existence. Both of these movies are spectacular, and this short synopsis does not do either of them justice. Most people have seen these movies even if they are not superhero fans. If you have not seen them, where have you been, under a rock? Watch them both immediately. Number 4. Raiders of the Lost Ark. In the scorching deserts of 1936, Indiana Jones, a whip-cracking archaeologist and adventurer extraordinaire, races against the Nazis to secure the Ark of the Covenant. Legend imbues the Ark with unimaginable power, and the ruthless Hitler believes it can tip the scales of World War II in his favor. Jones, motivated by both patriotism and a healthy dose of academic adventure, is recruited by the U.S. government to find the Ark before it falls into Nazi hands. His quest becomes a whirlwind of peril and action. Aided by his sharp wit and the occasional damsel in distress, Indy navigates booby-trapped temples, battles ruthless foes, and even survives a daring escape from a speeding Nazi cargo plane. The hunt for the Ark takes him from the bustling streets of Nepal to the dusty tombs of Egypt, each step bringing him closer to the fabled artifact and a confrontation with his Nazi nemesis, the duplicitous archaeologist Belloc. Number 3. The Godfather 2. While both The Godfather 1 and 2 are great, we can really appreciate when Michael Corleone becomes the Don. Michael Corleone is the new Don of the Corleone family in the late 1950s. Haunted by past betrayals and yearning for legitimacy, Michael attempts to expand the family business into new ventures like Las Vegas casinos and Cuban narcotics. However, a web of treachery spins around him, fueled by rival families and a vengeful former associate. Michael becomes increasingly isolated and paranoid, resorting to tactics to maintain control, all while desperately trying to shield his family from the bloody consequences. He is utterly ruthless. The other narrative strand delves into the formative years of Vito Corleone, Robert De Niro, Michael's father. Through flashbacks we witness Vito's harrowing escape from Sicily as a young boy, his arrival in New York City as a penniless immigrant, and his eventual rise to power within the criminal underworld. Vito's journey becomes a cautionary tale for Michael, highlighting the potential corruption inherent in the very empire he is striving to maintain. Number 2. The Color Purple. Adapted from Alice Walker's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, it paints a poignant portrait of resilience and the enduring strength of sisterhood. Celie, a young black woman living in rural Georgia during the early 1900s, endures a life of unimaginable hardship. Sexually abused by her father and then forced into marriage with the cruel Mr., Celie finds solace only in the letters she writes to God, pouring out her pain and yearning for a better life. A glimmer of hope arrives with the appearance of Nettie, Celie's younger sister. Nettie's spirit and fierce love offer Celie a much-needed connection. However, Nettie is soon separated from Celie by Mr.'s cruelty. Through years of hardship, Celie finds strength in the kindness of strangers and the deep bond she develops with Shug Avery, a flamboyant singer who becomes a source of love and awakening for Celie. As letters from Nettie arrive, revealing a life of unexpected joy, Celie begins to believe in the possibility of happiness. Just in case you didn't know, the original is the best. Number 1. The Silence of the Lambs, hands down one of our favorite movies. When Hannibal Goes to Work on the Guard, masterful. It's a chilling psychological thriller. FBI trainee Clarice Starling enters the lair of the monstrous Dr. Hannibal Lecter, hoping to glean insights into a serial killer terrorizing the country. Nicknamed Buffalo Bill for skinning his victims, this elusive psychopath presents a complex puzzle for law enforcement. With her sharp mind and simmering vulnerability, Clarice is a gamble for the FBI. All other attempts have failed, so she is sent to interview Dr. Lecter, a brilliant psychiatrist turned cannibalistic serial killer, in the hopes of unlocking the secrets in his twisted mind. Lecter, a captivatingly evil presence behind his plexiglass cell, offers cryptic clues in exchange for a glimpse into Clarice's own psyche. As their sessions delve deeper, a chilling game of cat and mouse unfolds. Clarice confronts her own demons while navigating the manipulative brilliance of Lecter. The more she delves into the darkness, the closer she gets to Buffalo Bill and the more entangled she becomes with Lecter's web of malice. What are some of your must-see movies?